that's how I feel about what we're gonna do today. And I had to match my drink with my car. It's not an alcoholic drink, so don't worry.
Oh,
move your damn keys.
Get those out the way.
Or move your dang keys, I should say. We got a lot of stuff going on today. As you guys know, E91 wrapped in yellow. Everybody keeps asking me what color it is. Yellow. Last time that I made a video, we did a single turbo kit. The car is still in the process of getting tuned. And I can't finish the tune because I'm hitting torque limit. And I can't tune the transmission because this car is swapped with the N54. For the people that don't know, now it has a single turbo, but I have to do a manual swap now instead of a DCT swap because I can't tune my transmission because of coding things. There's scientific terms that I'm not gonna get into, but basically I can't tune the transmission, so we're gonna go ahead and manual swap the car. I already have a manual swap. I have everything. I just need time. So that's gonna be on the list to do as far as this car goes, so we can continue the tuning process. Currently is at 22 PSI, and that's the only thing I can do. And it also has stock fuel system, which we're gonna address as well. But as far as interior goes, last time we did the door cards. We changed the screen. So we changed the screen to ID4 not ID4 motion. We changed it to Xtrons head unit, and then we did the door cards in black. What else did we do? I don't think we did anything else besides that. But since then, I swapped the seats to black seats, front, and then we have the rears, also black. And everything in the car is black now, except the headliner, A-pillar, B-pillar, and C-pillar, which are gonna get addressed as well. So to finish off, I guess the rest of the interior, we have some pretty cool mods. So we have suede wrapped trim all around with yellow stitching since the car's yellow. And this is from Baesic Performance or Baesic Performance? I think it's Basic Performance, but I'll leave the links down below for that. We also have a Ozza auto wheel, steering wheel with yellow stitching, full Alcantara with center as well. That's Alcantara. They were nice enough to sponsor the channel with this. And I ran the same steering wheel on the E90, the red one. And as far as feel and just the way the car is when you're driving, it makes it way better. But the car does have M Sport steering wheel, which was installed last time because this car came with a stock base model steering wheel. So now we're gonna switch the steering wheel again to this masterpiece. Jeez. And then the third and the last thing you guys should be very familiar with is ID4 motion cluster for E9X chassis. This was gifted to me by Vehicle Virals himself. So he has it on his car. He has it on the E90, E46. Yeah, and I think that's it. And Carlos also has it. So I just had to jump on a bandwagon, and I think it looks really cool. So all these three things are gonna happen in one video. Most of it is very simple, except the cluster, because there is some cutting to do. Besides that, trim, you guys already know. I've done it like 3-4 times on the channel. Remove trim, put trims on. So let's get to it. Ah, look at that, such a hard install. Just kidding, pretty easy. You just pull them off and then the new piece goes on. I do recommend getting new clips. Sometimes they do break. This one in particular did break. 1, 2, 3 of them. So As far as the new piece goes, I think it's... No, it's the yellow. We do have enough clips to install for now. Ta-da! So you can swipe whichever direction you want. You want darker, you want lighter. Darker, lighter. Modular. Then I'm not gonna show you guys the rest of the door cards because they're all the same. This guy. That's how you pull off that one. It's literally just held on by pretty much nothing. Just 2 clips. Installing new piece.
Is it upside down or what?
No. Centerpiece is a little bit more involved. I do have to take off my GFB. Oh god, that thing is like on there. If you don't have boost control, it doesn't apply to you, obviously. So this guy, there is some wires behind here, so you do have to remove those, and then the start button as well. For this part, I'm gonna transfer my trim onto the new one because the trim that came with that kit looks like poo. So it was the outer, and to transfer that, you just have to take off the 8 mils and then pull it off. And then there's clips here. Pull that off and it comes off. So we'll do that and then we'll install the new piece. Okay, as far as putting it back in, the same thing what you did. I can't really show you what's going on here, but there's a lot of stuff going on in there. You gotta get like the connector in there. After 10,000 years of struggling to put connectors on, it is finally on, and it looks 10 times better. Modular. It can go full black or a little bit grayish. But next thing, oh, I already actually installed this. Yeah, I got too excited. Put these back on. Then we have this trim, which pulls out just like that. That's not supposed to happen, but in my case it does. So if you have an automatic car, you have to unplug these. If you have a manual, don't worry about it. This guy, don't worry about it because this does not apply to a stock car. It's my baby monitor. You also want to put the car in whatever gear so you can get that out. And that comes out like that. All right, we're back. So had to swap out this piece. Mine had originally the ashtray or cigarette lighter, whatever the hell it is. I just swapped over this one, blank one, so I can put my phone in there. So going back, white connector to white, blue connector to blue. Like I said, don't pay attention to the rest of the wiring. That's for extra stuff that your car will not come, most likely. This trim will be deleted. That's why I didn't get it new trim because, like I said, we are going manual in this car. Ta-da! So that's done. So when you remove this piece, you have access to the face of the door card or the door handle. And then all you gotta do is snap it in place. This one doesn't want to. Why is it not doing it? There you go. And the last piece to the puzzle. And that is how you do trims. So same process for the rear doors, nothing special. You just pull off this trim and then you get this. I do have to fix this door still because I have a different door card on there. So I will not be addressing that right now. So let's move on to the steering wheel and the cluster. We got Vehicle Vials in the house. Official sponsor of Swap Pizza. Dude, look at these air fresheners, dude.
Oh man, me likey.
What he said.
Me likey. Ooh.
Hey. Hold on. Modular.
Modular. So you got dark?
No, light.
Bright.
It was light and it was dark. Now it's dark.
What does that say?
Jeez. Alright, so to take off the steering wheel, all you gotta do is remove the airbag, which has two little, you'll find a hole back here somewhere. Can't really see it because it's kind of dark. Nice. But there's a hole you gotta feel for, and there's a hole in both sides, essentially, of the steering wheel. So you have to get like a flat screwdriver, or not flat screwdriver, a thin screwdriver or whatever this is. This is like a Torx bit. Get in there and finesse those clips. So after I finesse them, we'll be back. I kind of went ahead and removed the steering wheel, but I will show you guys what I removed. So there's a ground point right here, I believe. I think it's ground. Whatever it is for the airbag. But there's two. There's one T10 on there that you have to remove. That goes into this spot, and then there's a plug right here that goes into that. So that's removed, and then the 16 mil on the steering shaft itself, and then the steering wheel comes off. And now I am removing the rear bolts, which are T15s. There's 3 of them. I will not be transferring the paddle shifters because obviously I'm going manual. You don't need paddle shifters for a manual car, don't think? If you do, then there's an issue there.
Depends on the manual, huh?
Yeah, sure. So that's what it should look like. You do need these buttons because the steering wheel that I have doesn't have the buttons on them. So I will be taking out these 2 nuts and transferring it over to the new steering wheel. Wow, why are my buttons sticky? Okay, that's weird. Anyways, the button starts sticking. I don't know why, but it's on. So reverse of what you did already, pretty much. You put it on, put the new steering wheel trim back on, 3 bolts here, and then that's all you have. If you have paddle shifters, obviously you're gonna put the paddle shifters back on. Since I opted for paddle shifters, that's why I have the holes Otherwise, I would have just went with a manual steering wheel. But in this case, since the steering wheel is already made, I'm just gonna rock with it. You shouldn't be able to see it that much anyways. But before we install it, we're gonna install the last piece to the puzzle. For that, all you have to do is find the right, you know, tool for it first. And there's T10s right here. Oh, that's gone. T10 again. You got 2 of those. And you go. The old one comes out. Pretty simple. And that's it. Your old cluster is out. So there's some stuff we have to trim in the back, which I'm gonna consult our install specialist. And here he is. We have our install specialist over here.
Sure.
How you do?
How I do?
How you do? I don't know how to do.
Did you cut?
Nope. That's the part that I need.
That's step number 1.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta use a template.
This template doesn't make any sense to me. Because it just says driver's side, cut air tube, cut air tube.
So, the air tube has a 90-degree bend. This is pointing towards the driver's side. So, you peel this off and you put it over the 90-degree angle tube. That's where the dotted line is at. That's where the curve is. Oh my God.
What tube? What air tube?
There's an air tube back there for the AC, for the climate control. And the tube is like this. So you just have to lay that like that. This has to be on the edge.
Also, this is sticky. Perfect.
Yes, that's what I said. Remove it and it sticks right on there.
Right.
And then you just follow the template and you cut. I'm probably the worst person to give directions. I know what you have to do, but I'm terrible at explaining it.
But as far as the back goes, this is the only thing that's needed for power.
That's it.
And this is for...
You don't need to do that. This is for the little remote.
Oh, okay.
So you don't need that. If you do have an extension, a USB extension, then that's kind of recommended if you want to do updates in the future so you don't have to pull the cluster out. You put that in there and then you route this somewhere where it's accessible, like underneath the
So we're not going to do that.
Okay, well there's that.
If we need an update, we're going to just take the cluster out.
Yeah, which is a pain. Because
But if you are going to do it, plug this in here, route it somewhere where you want it.
yeah, you can route it underneath and it'll come down under the kick panel where the OBD port is at. You can just kind of keep it there.
Well, you can also actually cut your dash if you really wanted to.
And put it in there.
And then just slide it in there and there'll
Yeah.
be a USB port in your dash.
Correct. So yeah, you can use this one for the little remote, which for the E90X, you don't need to use a remote. You can use the stock, the BC button, and you can control it that way. For E46, you kind of have to use this. For E90X, you can just use the stock to control the menus.
And we're gonna go ahead and take this off because,
Well, you haven't, yeah, you would have to remove it from the back end and then apply it.
Well,
I would probably recommend you do that first, not while the screen's on there.
well, I don't want that.
Okay, you like the glossy finish?
Yes.
Okay, then he likes the glossy finish. This is essentially a matte, reflective, kind of like anti-glare screen protector. So it protects the screen, but it adds the protection from the glare, so you can see it better.
I think it looks like caca.
I like it. But I do agree, the color on the screen looks a lot better when it's just left glossy.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and go cut a template and we'll be back. So like Christian said, the pro installer cut the tube to the dimensions that are on the template. I totally didn't follow that. And then you put the metal piece on that has double side tape so it keeps the air away from the thingy-majob. I'm a bobber. Like so. Can't really show you details because it's pretty dark in there. After you do that, you take your I was an idiot. So once you do that, I believe you have to like do some witchery stuff. It is a tight squeeze, that's for sure. Let's try this side. Oh, there you go. Now I just need to get the corner in, and that's it. That actually wasn't too bad. Now I need to find the holes. And it's installed.
Just like that.
Just like that, it's installed. So I put the E10s, or T10s? Yeah. T10s back on the cluster. Make sure it's tight. There is like a weird thing going on right there. I'm not sure why, but we could test this, make sure it works. Oh God. Let's see. It takes a while to boot up. There it is. Hey, it's got all the right lights.
Crispy.
So there's a lot of different options. My cluster came with different themes. Let's see. I gotta keep going, keep going. Ooh. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, now we're actually ready, and we transferred over this piece that holds the airbag on. Now we're gonna put this T10 on. And also this guy. So that's on. I'm gonna tighten the T10. And then we plug in our steering wheel controls. And the last step is gonna be the airbag. And once that's done, ta-da! Oh. So, don't do what I just did. What about the 16 mil?
Oh, bro.
You're... Yeah, put the 16 mil on there. Because your steering wheel will rip off mid-drive.
That shit look man.
Yes.
Bro, that yellow matches the trim so good. Oh,
Jay, look at that.
Oh, BMW.
Drivetrain malfunction.
Perfect. That's what we're looking for.
Hey, you get the drivetrain malfunction in beautiful digital glory form.
Yep. I'm not sure what that is though. But disregard the drivetrain malfunction.
Alright, we solved the problem with the codes. I just cleared them. That was the solution. Clear the false codes. He knows all about that.
That's all you gotta do, bro.
N54. Now we're good. I got a cool shift light too.
Yeah, you set it up to the right RPM?
I don't know about right RPM, but
by the way, cool. You can adjust this so it can be percentages. It looks a lot better. Instead of the little gauges, you see little meters you have, you can do percentages and it looks a lot more modern.
So I haven't really messed with it. I just changed the miles per hour and the theme, but there's a lot more adjustability with this cluster.
and like you can see, very responsive. It looks just like OEM, I would say. So, geez. I did forget that there's one thing that they added to the cluster, which was boost reference, so you can see boost on your cluster, which is really helpful. There is additional harness or a sensor that you need to purchase from ID4 Motion, but I will leave the links down below for everything that you need as far as the cluster goes, that sensor if you want a boost reference, and also the steering wheel and all the interior trim from Asa Auto as far as the steering wheel goes, and the trim from Baesic Performance. Besides that, I think she's pimped out. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding. I think it looks really good now. It just finishes the whole entire car. Now I just need to do a headliner, and we have a full black interior in the E91. And GS.